Today will be a short video on the Canon R3, and I'm sharing today is why I think the R3 is such a great hybrid camera. And if I was doing a collaboration or assignment that requires both photos and videos together, I'll probably prefer the R3 over the other brands. And it's not because that the camera is better, but it's because certain things are designed better for the purpose of doing two things at one time. I'm Richard and welcome to Zappy Productions. So today we'll talk about the R3 as a hybrid camera and why I think it is better. Now first, let's look at its camera components part of things. It is a flagship camera, flagship autofocus. It is fast, quick, and reliable. I think there's no complaints about the camera part of things. And in terms of ergonomics, I do prefer this over the, let's say, the A1s or the A7s or even a Nikon Z9 because it is lighter and it just feels nice on the hand if you ask me from an ergonomic standpoint. And most importantly, the screen it comes with is very useful for photography, also very useful for videography. Not my most favorite screen, I prefer the one on Z9 for the purpose of photography, but today we're talking about hybrid, and this is the preferred screen for me when it comes to hybrid shooting because for video purpose, I do prefer this screen over the Z9 one. So for a photographer's camera, I think there's no complaint. I mean, I'm not going to regurgitate the whole review of the R3 here, but as a photography camera, it is good. The only downside, it is not 45 megapixels, not 50 megapixels, yes. It is only 24 megapixels. I mean, if you are overweight, then the R3 is a very good flagship camera. Now, when it comes to video shooting, on the other hand, I think the R3, my opinion is, it is still slightly better than the Z9. And for a variety of reasons. I would say, firstly, when it comes to codecs, the Z9 current codecs with the ProRes, the NRAW 8K, is better. Let's not joke ourselves, it's better. But when it comes to totality of using it as a video camera itself, I think the R3 has advantage. And the advantage is because Canon probably thought about it and designed it. Firstly, of course, as I said, the screen. That's one thing. Secondly, when you compare to other brands, of course, the battery life on the R3 is pretty decent. For video and photos together, you can use this bigger battery. It does last pretty long. I would say it's definitely lasts longer than the A1 when it comes to video and photos together in a single session. Probably the Z9 is very comparable, so it's a toss-up between them. And then when it comes to general ergonomics as a video camera, probably not very ergonomical. And if not, or should I say, if anything, the micro HDMI is a penalty for the R3 as a video camera itself. But beyond that, Canon designed a few things that were really nice. And one of them is something that Sony already has, and that is the digital hot shoe. So this digital hot shoe allows you to plug in XLR adapters. One is by Tascam for Canon, and it allows you to digitally send audio to the camera without additional packages or batteries or what's not. Same as the one in Sony. So this is a really good thing, and it kind of adds in the audio element of this camera. By the way, I don't have the module here. I'm going to buy it because I sold my C70 away, by the way. Now that is of course for the audio part of things. Now for the shooting part of things, I think Canon thought about it really well, and it's because of this thing here. This is the variable ND adapter. And I think this is the most important thing as a video shooter. Why? Is because we all know that shooting videos require certain, I would say, as frame rates, and of course also certain shutter speed to get the nicest video. Shutter speed too slow, you get very dreamy style video, and shutter speed too fast, you get very jerky videos. So you need something at the correct shutter speed. And to only achieve that is to have NDs. Now, you can have NDs on top of your lens in front of it, but Canon's way of doing with this ND as adapter is more similar to what you get in cinema style cameras. And this is important because, you know, lenses comes in various shapes and sizes, and some of them do come with ridiculously huge front elements like this. This is a Sigma 50 1.4. 1.4, 82mm front filter, it's huge. And trying to mount this on top of this, and then getting a filter in front, not a big deal really. But if you had to change lens or do anything similar, it'd be problematic, because 82mm filter, unless you bring a lot of step-up rings, step-down rings, there are many lenses at 77, there are also many lenses at 67, and step-down rings and step-up rings are not the greatest stuff, because it affects your ability to use a hood. And I can tell you that I thought about it before, using a step-up ring, and there were times that I said, damn, it would have been great if I can still use the hood, but I can't, because now the ring is huge and blocks my hood. So I do like this implementation. Firstly, it removes the need for me to think of bringing ND filters. Secondly, it doesn't affect me when I use hoods, and it's easy to adjust. I mean, you just turn here, just like a cinema camera. That's a button. This is just a knob. So it's a lot easier than trying to, imagine you put an ND filter here, and then you have to try to wiggle the ND filter inside here. It's just painful. So yes, I'll say as these two accessories, oh sorry, wait a moment. So yes, I would say that these two accessories, I would say as the adapter with the ND filter, and the audio jack possibility using the digital port here, is the best thing that Canon gave to the R3 that makes it such a fantastic video camera itself. Now, there are other things that make it a really good video camera. So, most importantly, it doesn't overheat for 4K 60. It does overheat for 4K 120. I shot my video in blazing sun for 45 minutes. This camera is baking in the sun. I shot 20 over minutes of footage. No overheat sign, no overheat warning. That would not have been possible with the R5. So, yes, that's one thing. And next is the codecs option. You can shoot many things. I mean, short of 8K, you can shoot a lot of 4Ks. You can also shoot 6K RAW. Yes, the codec is H.265, but if you are a Mac user, no problem. H.265 runs perfectly on the Mac. Now, if you're not a Mac user, transcoding and everything will be going to be a pain in the ass. But yes, the R3, depends on who you are. Windows user, you'll be a bit disadvantaged. But if you're a Mac user, all great. H.265 works perfectly on it. And this is a full frame camera. It does have IBIS, so compared to cinema cameras, you will never lose your IBIS, even if you're shooting things like RAW. C70, the moment you enter into RAW mode, it disables it. So there are so many things going for this R3. Canon has designed it in such a way that it's very usable as a cinema style camera with all the add-ons. You literally get everything except for the full HDMI port and no SDI ports and no timecode is there. Not too sure on it. But really, I think that the R3 is a fantastic hybrid camera as such. And let's not forget one last thing is that unlike Nikon and Sony, when they adapt other mount lenses, it's not that great. Canon, when it adapts EF mount lenses, it is pretty good. Nikon, when it adapts the older Nikon F mounts, it is, I would say, as depends really. Sometimes it can be decent, sometimes it can be not so decent. But for Canon, at least, I tried with all the Sigma lenses that I could get my hands on, tried with many Canon lenses, it works perfectly fine. As such, with this ND, I would say as ND adapter, it would be perfect for almost any situation. And really, that's about it. Just want to share with my thoughts why I think the R3 is such a great hybrid camera. To summarize everything, unless you need a 45 megapixel, the R3 is a fantastic camera. It does it very well, just at 24 megapixels. And as a video camera, if you get the accessories, the variable ND adapter, plus the Tascam XLR adapter for audio, you get almost like a cinema package. And then using EF lenses, you get fantastic autofocus too. Everything can be done in the camera itself, be it shooting RAW, shooting 4K, 60p, 120p. It only overheats in 120p. Everything else, it works perfectly fine. It bakes in the sun, doesn't overheat at all. So I think overall, if I was looking for a hybrid camera and I can only bring one camera out, unless I need the high megapixels, the R3 will be the camera of choice. Purely because of the accessories and the design considerations in hand. Not so much image quality. And that's about it for today. I hope you enjoyed this short little video, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.